Perhaps you didn't realize it, but I'm talking here. I'm laughing already. Oh, there goes my face again. What is going on here? Hold it, folks. I'm getting very, very, very upset with this. Well, that's a little better. Hey, there you go. I got it. Hello, everyone. I'm laughing because Debbie and I were off the show right before it started, and she started talking about we got to get more energy, we got to get enthusiasm. Let's do it. And I just started talking like this, and I was gonna open the show like, "Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hey, I'm Talking Here, starring me and Debbie Bettendorf. How exciting!" I'm sorry, folks. I'm in the mood. But anyway, Lori Ficken is on already. Hello, Lori. Miss you. Got to get together. That's all I'm saying. There she is. There she is. Miss America. Anyway, folks, we write the name of this show. The topic here today is called Mindset is Everything. And you might be wondering what a mindset is because everyone has their own idea. We will tell you exactly what we think it is, and then you can give your opinion of what it is, and we'll have a wonderful time doing this. And as you all know, this is a show about empowerment. It's an entertaining show. There's always a lot of fun. There's always a lot of laughs. And this show is brought to you by Conversations with Bob. I was going to say it again. By Conversations with Bob. That's my new book that came out 20 years ago. No, came out about a year ago. And it's doing very well. And you can get your copy on Amazon. That's all I have to say about that. Get rid of Bob for now. Get rid of Bob. Right now, I want to bring up my director of business and my producer, Mr. Bruce. Why don't you bring yourself on?
Hello.
See how fast that was? He just hopped. How you doing, man?
Good.
Cool. Glad to hear that.
So it's warm here in Chicago. We hit 99, and I went to an outdoor concert last night where it was only 96, but by the time the concert was over, it dropped to a chilling 89.
It's only 68 here. I don't know why we're talking about the weather, but I like it. I like 68. Anywhere from 68 to 80 is great with me. I love that.
It's mindset. It's basically how you adapt to the weather, whether it's a drudgery or a blessing.
I believe they had to close the airport down in Dallas because of the heat on the tarmac. I'm not sure, but I believe that's what happened. And because as you know, what happens is sometimes that stuff gets too hot and sometimes it gets sticky. And planes have a hard time taking off and have a hard time landing. Not that I really give a crap now, but right now, maybe we'll just do 20 minutes before we bring Debbie on. What do you think?
There you go. Just
no, let's bring her on.
Have her sit in the green room for a while.
Bring her on now.
Oh my gosh. Now, just in my defense, I was saying bring the energy up because I'm talking to myself too.
I know.
You know, Steve, you've been traveling. You're exhausted. I've been trying to get stuff situated for this new business, and I'm kind of So you and I are in a weird kind of mood today.
We have a weird mindset.
We've lost our mind.
Yeah, we really did. And it happens, you know, sometimes I get that sometimes, but like you said, I was traveling a lot and my mindset isn't up to par. It isn't where it is, but it all starts with what I'm thinking. Because when you feel tired, then those thoughts come up and they make you more tired than you think you are, you know, because you keep thinking about all you did and all that has to be done and this has to be done. And all of a sudden you're just going, it's almost like you're back in school when your mother's going, come on, get ready. It's time to go to school. And you go,
that just made my stomach hurt.
Remember those times?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the morning.
My mother always did that. And everything to her was nice. It used to piss my brother and I off. She'd walk into our room, rip the curtains up. Come on, it's going to be a nice day. The sun is shining really nice. I'm going to make you a nice breakfast and you'll have a nice day with your friends at the nice school. And my brother and I were like mimicking the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Have a nice day, and we're going to do. And it was so annoying to hear her say that.
Oh, but you know what? That was her mindset. She was like, I'm starting the day. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, look at the sun.
But
it's
for
nice.
Kids, I know. My dad used to say in the mornings, he'd go, my sister's bedrooms were upstairs. And he would say, off in the morning and off to school, ready to follow the golden rule. Let me hear the pitter patter of big feet. And they were always like, I'm going to strangle him.
I'd have to.
But
That
it's
that would
sweet. I mean, he was
that
always
would
a morning person.
that would really piss me off if my father did that.
He's such a morning person.
Yeah.
And he was always in a good mood. And it was a good way to start my day.
See,
But
my father never did that. If my mom did her thing and we still didn't get up, my father would pound on the door. Get your asses up. You got 2 minutes.
yeah, he was the enforcer.
Yeah,
If your little nice stuff doesn't work out, I'll be coming through. I'm the enforcer.
You could hear him in the background. Stop with the nice crap. Tell him to get up.
Yeah, that's great. But you know what? So I said, actually look up the definition of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And the definition of mindset is, do you remember what it said? A collection of thoughts. I mean, it's a mindset is what, right? Somebody say what it actually said.
Well, the dictionary says it's the established set of attitudes held by someone. Okay, but a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people say attitude is everything, or attitude is the only thing. Your attitude is formulated in accordance to the mindset that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all correct, but they all start with your thoughts and how those thoughts are lingering and what they're creating in that mind. There was a 17th century poet. I knew him well. His name was Milton, a very well-known 17th century poet. And he said one of the best sayings ever, the mind is its own place. It can make a hell of heaven or a heaven of hell. And that is the human condition right there. It depends on where your mind is going. You know, it depends on what you were thinking. It's usually, too, your mindset is usually created as soon as you wake up in the morning.
Right.
And that attitude that you have from those thoughts that are going through your head is pretty much the attitude you're going to take with you the entire day. And that's why people don't understand why they're in this low mood sometimes. It's always because of what you're thinking. And by the way, folks, this is key, because once you become aware that it's your thoughts that's causing that, because those thoughts will create the way that you feel. Yep. And if you're feeling sluggish, what happens is then you get into that cranky type of mood and everything bothers you. Then you're inviting more like thoughts to come into play, causing you to feel even worse, causing you to believe that this day is going to suck, which gives you that attitude. And the one thing you don't want to hear is someone go, "Good morning, have a nice day."
Right.
Yeah. I have what I feel is a lucky mindset, where everything I go into happens. I think we did the show a while back called Serendipity.
Yeah.
Where things happen for a reason, or unknowing things happen, and how you react to those. So pretty much any situation I go into, I feel my days can be lucky, and every day works out for me, except for once in a while they don't.
Every day works out, except some days they don't. But listen, you know what that just made me think about? I didn't ask you, Bruce, when Brian Proctor was on this show, and I asked him, do you ever like fly off the handle? Or are you always like, do you respond or do you react? He said, I always respond. That's you also, right, Bruce? Do you ever like, wah! In traffic or anything?
Once.
Okay. So basically, no, you respond, you don't react.
Right.
Bruce has got a Mr. Rogers mentality.
He's gonna.
It's always a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a lovely day for a neighbor.
Okay, so
let's bring your shoes and your sweater. So
I always thought Mr. Rogers went home and beat the shit out of his wife, though. That's life.
Oh my God!
Can you say cerebral hemorrhage? Sure, you can.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, you're nuts,
joke, folks. Lighten up.
And actually, speaking of your voices, a lot of times people tune into our shows halfway through the show, and they don't realize that we open up every show where you do an impersonation of somebody, or either a cartoon character or a real life person. So we started releasing those as shorts. So if you can't catch the opening of our shows each week, tune into Steve's YouTube channel for some of these amazing shorts.
Yeah,
they are fun.
Yeah, and Bruce, you did a scrupulous job by
Oh,
doing that
totally.
too. I do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So mindset and attitude. What is
Yeah, my mindset. Well, look, here's the way it is. What I just said to you, what this guy Milton said, the mind is its own place. It can make a hell of heaven or a heaven of hell. What he's saying here, it's not what happens to us that determines our quality of life. It's how we identify with what happens. It's how we perceive with what happens. It's you guys know as well as I do. There are some people, probably a lot of people listening right now, who view life's challenges as a blessing in disguise, as an opportunity for growth. And that doesn't mean that they go through life with blinders on, pretending nothing is happening to them. It's just that they know that life is filled with its static moments and sad days, good times, bad times, ups and downs. It's just that these people know how to ride the waves of change and uncertainty with equanimity. And what really amazes, and they know there's something within them that can meet
Yeah.
any challenge head on. And what really amazes me about these people, and this is what a mindset is all about, and they carry that mindset everywhere. And the more you solidify that type of mindset, the more you use it in every single circumstance, and that's how you become empowered. And
Or not.
right. Oh, well,
Because
exactly.
sometimes if you're the opposite way and all the negative thoughts control your mindset, that molds you into that person.
Yep. And that's it. And we'll get to that in a minute. But getting back to the optimistic people, the thing that amazes me about them is that when they know that they're feeling distress and they're not feeling energetic, they allow themselves, and that's a key word, allow themselves to temporarily step away from those moments that are bringing them down or stressing them out or even causing intense pain. And they immediately shift their focus and their way of thinking to what's working rather than fixating what isn't working. They bless the things that life has given them rather than cursing what life is currently throwing at them. And what really amazes me about these type of people with that mindset is they know the importance of taking time out to laugh, to find the laughter in between and even during the tough times. And we all have the power to do this. It's just that we make it more difficult than it has to be. But, and like you said, Deb, there's the other side too. Most people, I would say, they view life's challenges and make it worse than what it has to be. And that's because of the way that they identify with it. They're setting out to achieve a goal. And what's the first thing they say when they hit a challenge? They hit a wall. I knew this was going to happen. Every time I try to do something, it never works. I'm always going 2 steps up, 3 steps back. Everybody else has what I want. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not worthy enough. I guess dreams are for other people, and I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
And they can't understand why their lives aren't working. Because all you need is that one little negative response. As soon as you say this sentence with the emotional upheaval, like, I knew this was going to happen, you open up the door to the negative zone. And you don't even know what's happening to you. And now you're inviting those like thoughts to come into play.
No, I totally believe in that. I mean, I think it's scientifically proven, really. I mean, you can see it. It's the people who are negative, they bring, the law of attraction. They bring more to them. So I was going to say something about mindset being very intentional. So, for instance, there are times where I'll skip going to the gym. And then I feel really bad about missing going to the gym because it's a class and I miss that time to go do that. And so what I have found for myself is I make a non-negotiable the night before. And I know I got to get up at 5:00 in the morning and go. I say, Debbie, you are going. It's not like, well, if I get a good night's rest, I'm going to get up and I'm going to, not any of that. When I find it, when I say, this is what you're going to do. So when the alarm goes off, you're getting up, going through the motions and going.
Yep.
It happens.
Well,
but if I don't make that conscious decision or the intention there, then sometimes it doesn't. So I think that it's important for us to tell ourselves that we are going to have a nice day.
Yeah, and well, you just nailed
Like
it.
your mom
That's
said.
exactly it. That's exactly it, because you're creating your intention, which is needed to create that mindset. And
Boom.
folks, it really does. And they've heard us say this before. It starts as soon as you open up your eyes, before you take the covers off. You have an opportunity to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you.
Or
You
even
can,
the night before when you go to lay your head down.
even yes, that
You're
should even be
starting that
done.
already. You're starting
Yep.
that positive process.
Right before you're falling into that slumber, start saying, I deserve to have a good time. I'm going to do this, and this is working in my life, and it's going to be a good day tomorrow. That might sound really corny, but you're creating subconsciously an incredible mindset. So if you do that before you go to sleep, and then when you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, I'm not taking the covers off. See, a lot of people, when they wake up in the morning, they think about everything that has to be done, and they can't understand why they're frazzled. So rather than do that, before you take the covers off, say to yourself, who do I have to be in order to get it done? What mindset do I need to get through this day and to deal with all the stuff that needs to be done? And create it right there. It takes minutes, just a couple of minutes for you to do that. Hi, Lane.
Hey, Lynn. Yeah.
And my
Just
cousin Danny said, my cousin Danny just said, Granny did the same thing. Our grandmother had the most optimistic attitude. Oh my God. She was incredible.
And it does. It can be annoying when someone's overly positive, when you're exhausted and you don't feel like getting up and going to school, for instance.
Right.
But over time, it does get in there. That positivity, just like if you're around someone negative, it gets in there, Yeah. It does. So it's good to be around those positive people.
But most people start their days off, and I think most people would agree with me. The majority, and I'm going out on a limb here, but I really believe this, start their days off in low moods at best. And the scary thing is that they're not aware of what they're doing to themselves.
Right. So if nothing else, this information that you're talking about right now, that we are discussing, if nothing else, whoever's listening can just say, gosh, I am going to be more aware of that, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So if you're not even aware of it.
What they're doing is that they're focusing on, it just happens. Your brain, they're focusing on the challenging, if not grueling day they had the day before. Maybe all the fires that weren't put out. Maybe the traffic jam they had to be in, the irate people that they had to deal with. Yeah. And then what do? And I know people that do this, and I know a lot of people listening, and maybe you folks do it. They wake up, sometimes even 2:00 in the morning, and they reach over to their nightstand and grab their iPhone, and they look at messages that they think need to be answered before they leave the house the next morning. The things we do to boggle our minds is absolutely insane.
You know, that's a good point. It's probably even worse now with the technology we have than it was when we were kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're walking into work, or you're dealing with family issues in a low mood at best. Yeah. And it's very hard to get out of that. It really is.
Oh, but some people actually write down their gratitudes at the end of the day, and then they go to sleep thinking about that. So you go to sleep on a positive note, and I guess you can reflect on that the next day.
Well, absolutely. That's the attitude of gratitude thing, and that's when I speak to people. That's one of the common sense success strategies. I tell them, as corny as it is, before you take those covers off and you're thinking about everything that has to be done, why not shift your focus and your way of thinking to the things that are working in your life, to the things that bring you joy, the thing that lifts your spirits. And what I'm asking them to do is to create an attitude of gratitude, and everyone can do it. Maybe it's the person lying next to you. Maybe you're thinking of your children, or the dog lying by the side of the bed. Maybe the birds outside the window. Somebody said something nice to you. Maybe you're having friends over for a Saturday evening dinner, a football game on Sunday. Everyone can think of something that can put a smile on their face and lift their spirits. And if you say you can't, well, then you're wrong, first of all, and you're creating your own reality, because you can.
Yeah, that's right. But Bruce, that's a great idea to do your gratitude journal before bed. I really thought of doing it that way, because sometimes in the morning, when a lot of people typically do it, sometimes you get busy and then like, oh gosh, I've run out of time. But before bed, that's a great idea. That's really a good idea.
I don't do it so often in a journal. I'll just say it to myself.
Whatever works. Yeah.
I'll say it out loud. I'll just say I'm grateful for this, and this happened, and that person, or whatever it is. And
because that way you can forget what you said the day before, and you can repeat yourself. If you write it down and put it in a journal, it's like, okay, I said that 3 weeks ago. I can't put it down again because I said it 3 weeks ago, or I put down this same one 3 times in a row. Can't do that.
Yeah. I get it. I hear you.
No, we can be grateful for the same thing over and over and then just add to it too. Look, we just got it all going on. You guys, tell us.
Sometimes I'm grateful for things that haven't even happened in my life yet.
Ooh.
I do that often. Thank you for, I'm not going to tell people what it is, but if I have something that I want to achieve and it's not in my physical realm yet, I know it's there in escrow somewhere. It's waiting for me. And it's up to my mindset and my belief throughout the course of a day, every day until it manifests. I know that I'm giving thanks for it. And I'm so grateful for it. And when I do that, I get so excited about that the elation is incredible. And that's how the law of attraction works.
Yeah.
That's how it works, because your subconscious doesn't know an event that's actually happened in your life, something exciting in your physical world. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between that and the thought that exemplifies that. To your subconscious, it's the same thing. So you're feeding your subconscious with, wow, I already have this.
Well, maybe that's why maybe that's why people who have a really vivid imagination tend to be happier people, because they can really get into that mindset of, this is my reality, even if things are falling apart around them. You can really get into looking for the good.
Well, that's why Albert Einstein, I was just talking to him a few days ago.
Yeah.
And,
I like his hair.
Didn't he write a forward to your book, or
it's in the back of the book. It's in the back of the book.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh yeah. Subtitle of the book, Albert Einstein, blah, 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 live a certain way.
Yeah.
Knowledge, he said, your knowledge is, somebody read it.
I can't find it. I'm on chapter.
Oh, knowledge is limited, but imagination encircles the world. And it can insert, I already read it, Bruce.
Okay.
This is where it is, though.
Knowledge is limited, but imagination encircles the world, and it can encircle your world.
Yes.
So,
I like that.
Well, think about it. Everything that was created ever started with a thought that ignited the imagination.
And ignited that change. And that
you always imagine it, the telephone, the electricity, you name it.
You name it.
Yeah, you name it.
It.
It's all there.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, you know what, Bruce? Why don't we play the Word According to Bob video, because I think this really exemplifies what we're talking about here today. It's about mindset.
Here we go.
Right now, I'm going to give you 3 principles that can place you at the helm so that you can steer the course of your life, especially when times are tough. Principle number 1, you need to know, without a doubt, that you are the creator of your success and happiness. Now, what that really means is, it's not what happens to you that determines how successful or how happy you're going to be. It's what you do about what happens. It's the choices that you make. It's the thoughts that you have and the words that you speak out loud that will really make the difference. Principle number 2, you need to know that you are the only problem that you will ever have, and somewhere within you there is always a solution waiting to be discovered. You just have to learn how to get out of your way to discover the solution. Principle number 3, whenever you're confronted with a challenge or a problem of any kind, it's never a matter of managing the situation. It's always a matter of how you manage your mind. Can you manage your mind and the thoughts, the beliefs, and the emotions that are keeping you from finding the solution that's waiting to be discovered? And one common sense success strategy that can help you to manage your mind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year is for you to unleash the power of your humor being on a daily basis. Every one of you has a humor being within you. As a matter of fact, I believe everyone on this planet is born with a humor being within them. Unfortunately, most people go their entire lives never knowing they have this power, let alone how to tap into it and make it work for them. Your humor being, folks, is of your higher self. It is the part of you that brings out the best in you when times get really tough. What your humor being can give you more than anything else is peace of mind and emotional stability. I did stand-up comedy for over 20 years, and I headlined comedy clubs, theaters, and colleges throughout the country. And I'm not saying this to impress you, but only to impress upon you that every time I was on that stage, I was well aware that there are people in the audience experiencing challenging times of some kind. Maybe they were going through a divorce, maybe they were having financial difficulties, maybe they or a loved one were inflicted with some kind of illness. But for those few moments, when I was on that stage, their problems, their challenges, whatever they were, didn't own them. Why? Because they simply allowed themselves to take time out to laugh. Laughter is the pit stop in the rat race of life, and that it gives you enough emotional fuel and repairs to get back into the race again. But the initiative and the proficiency by which we allow ourselves to laugh comes from what I call your humor being. Laughter is one of the greatest gifts that was ever given to us. What good is a gift if you don't open it and you don't use it? And that's the word, according to Bob.
Bobby.
You know what?
I say.
The fact that that has a lot to do with, hi, Sandy, with laughter.
Yep.
That is, I think that, and I believe you even said this before in one of the podcasts, that sometimes we suppress laughter because when we were younger, maybe we were told, don't laugh at that. That's not funny. That's
Exactly.
and it's kind of like a learned thing that you got to hold that in. And
Yeah.
there are times where you shouldn't laugh and there are times where you can. And, even though the topic is mindset, it is directly related.
That's why I played this. Yeah.
I love it. And so, there are inappropriate times you don't want to laugh when you're at a funeral or something like that. But if you're giving the eulogy and you're making jokes, the laughter helps people get out of, even if it's for an instant, get out of that sadness for a moment.
Well, even at a funeral, it's valid. And that's why I said, because laughter can shift your mindset. It can take you from what I said about the poet, a heaven of hell or a hell from heaven. Even momentarily, it can shift you into a different realm in your life.
I love that. And so, we got to remember laughter is a beautiful thing. That's why people go, and when you were, doing all your stand up and Mr. Famous Comedian, people would come and pack the room.
Yeah.
Because people just wanted to laugh and take a break from all the craziness maybe and the chaos going on in their head or their life. And so we can, just like exercise and eating well and telling ourselves we're going to go to the gym and telling ourselves we're going to not react or we're going to respond. You can also give yourself permission to laugh. Give yourself reasons to laugh. Watch a comedian.
Yeah.
Listen to something funny on a podcast. Get in there. Laughter is really awesome for you. It really is. I mean,
the instant mind shift. It really is.
And it does help. It gives you all those happy endorphins. It's like
even in intense situations. I remember when 9/11 happened. It was 3 days after 9/11, and I was watching the news, and there was a reporter. She had the microphone in her hand, and the camera panned in on what was going on, and it was unbelievable. So she was interviewing the rescue people, the police officers and firemen and medical people and civilians are just digging in rubble looking for survivors. And she goes up to this one fireman. He was a big, brawly guy, filled with soot. He had a bandage around his head, with a blood stain on it. He had his arm in a sling. And she goes up to him, and it's dead silence. And she says, and she's very emotional. She goes, "How is it that you're able to have the courage to go back in there and do what needs to be done?" He took a deep breath. He approached her, and he very softly grabbed the microphone away from her. He took a deep breath, and he said two things. "I'm a fireman, and I'm from New York." Then he went like this. "That's all you need to know." Everyone started laughing and applauding. Now, I grant you that laughter only lasted maybe 5, 7 seconds. The applause instantly stopped. But my point is that sometimes a couple of seconds is all you need to catch your second wind.
Yeah.
That different mindset. Laughter can give you that couple of seconds to go back in there and do what needs to be done. And laughter, your humor being, does that for you over and over again. And the more you use it, the more it becomes a part of who you are.
Oh my gosh. I love that story. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. You lighten the mood a little bit, shift it a little bit to something a little more positive. And, if you say mindset the other way, it's set your mind.
Yeah.
Set your mind. How do you want to live your life?
Well, because it nips negative thought patterns, Deb,
Yes.
in the bud before emotional havoc blossoms. That's
Yes.
like on that sitcom MASH. You've ever seen that TV show MASH?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Alan Alda? He's in the operating room, and this is in the middle of a battlefield, and there's bombs bursting all over the place. His hands are inside some kid's insides, blood splurting all over the place. Bodies are being brought in by the dozens. There's no medical supplies left. And what is he doing in the middle of this? He's cracking jokes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sitcom. But by cracking jokes, he's not negating the seriousness of the subject matter. He just intuitively knows that his humor being is the only saving grace in a place where there seems to be so little hope. If anything, his sense of humor is giving him to do it
through it,
just to save lives.
You know what I just thought of? A lot of people in really serious careers like that, or do have good sense of humor, and maybe they have to rely on that to be able to get through all of the hard stuff.
I've interviewed, I always thought I was going to write a book on this. I haven't yet, maybe, I don't know. But I've interviewed people in emergency rooms and hospitals. I've interviewed, when I spoke for critical nurses, 6,000 people, and we went out to dinner, and I did some intense interviewing. They allowed me to ask questions, and they all said, soldiers, my brother Michael, when he was wounded, they all said the one thing more than anything that gave them the attitude and the courage to persevere, to snap back instantly, was their warped sense of humor.
Yeah.
It was twisted, but that's what they needed. That's what they needed. Otherwise, you snap. Yeah.
Well, that makes total sense. I mean, so if you think about, mindset, people use that term, use that word a lot. But really figure it out in your head, get your mindset set for the mindset, because it really does make a difference in how you view things. And how, I was thinking about Jennifer Gittimer as we were talking, because she is such, her stories of mindset and perseverance and, the shift she made in her life from career to career, and the way she just lives her life is living on that side of, everyone's like, oh, rose-colored glasses, everybody's talking about positivity. It's the truth.
Yes.
So you can choose to be negative Nancy about it, but if you embrace it and really catch yourself in moments of negativity and say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to think of this a different way. It works.
Well,
I don't know, the last couple of days I've needed to rely on, okay, take a break, set back, reset. Because I as I sit here and talk about all of this, while I know it all to be true, when things heat up in your life, and then I have the tools. Now I just need to apply them. I need to use them.
Yep.
But the good news is this: I won't stay in that chaotic mindset for very long, because I'm aware of what I'm doing.
Well, that's the key.
Right. So I either find myself someone I can talk to just release it and then move on, or I'll, work out, or, pray, whatever it takes to just be able to shift into a more positive mode. Let's see. Eric Bam. Hey, Eric, the best people that I've met that can deal with it always seem to find the funny, positive in any situation.
It's a crucial life strategy. Thanks, Bam. Appreciate you. That's a crucial life strategy. And you proved it You just said it. I know. I'm eating a banana while looking at Steve. Is that strange?
Oh my God. A little bit. But you know what? We love you, Bam. Look, where do you go from there?
But you disproved it. That's another crucial life strategy. Started letting things get to you. And what did you do? And this is something that everyone can do. You gave me a call. You wanted to talk. I didn't say much to you to turn anything around, but you needed to vent, and you did, and you felt better.
Right.
That's a crucial life strategy, and you shifted your mindset thereby by doing that. We are all born with innate common sense success strategies. Yeah. Every one of us. It's just that we get so caught up in the crap of life that we're not aware. We're so overwhelmed by what's happening. We don't know that we can shift our focus and way of thinking by doing. That's why I call them common sense, because they're so simple. But they can work magical wonders in your life if you tap into it.
100%. 100%. And it's so good to be around other like-minded people who believe the same way. You know, trying to talk someone into having a positive mindset, and even when things start falling around you, to still try to find the good in it. You know, you got to meet people where they are. And so, but it's good for you all who are trying to be more positive and have a mindset of a successful, happy life, generally, to be around the people who can build you up back. You build each other up.
Yeah. But the thing is, you also hit the key too when you said you were aware of what was happening. Awareness is the key that'll set you free. Can I hear a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
It is, because you can't fix something unless you know it's broken.
There you go.
Most people.
Oh,
there you go. Another nugget from Steve Rizzo, folks. There you go. Give him a banana, as Eric Bam would say.
Oh gosh, Eric, you're right. Misery does love on my second banana. Eric says misery loves company, and so does optimism. That is so true.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's really a good one. But most people, though, just are not aware that they have created this habit, and they take that bad attitude with them everywhere.
Yeah.
And we all know people like that. That most of the time, that's the way they are. They're the ones that will say, "Oh, I don't like that," or, you know, "What are you smiling about?" or grumping and complaining about something all the time. And if their car broke down, they can't wait to tell people for 5 days after that, not realizing they're reliving the same emotion again. Hey, you get your
People be like, "Did your car break down again?" No, same story.
Same story. I just got to vent it. You believe the nerve of these people?
I'll tell you again next week, and then I might back off of that story.
Yeah, I'll tell you again when I'm having a really good day and I want to ruin it.
Yeah, I'll pipe in and give you some negative stuff.
For crying out loud. So this has been a pretty productive show, and I think, and I know you think, and I want to thank everyone for their comments. Is there anyone that we left out?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Nope.
I focus on what you're saying, Steve. Unless Bruce puts them up on the screen, I don't see them. So I hope he put them on.
I think we got everyone.
Yeah.
We got
so final thoughts on this for me is really resetting and regrouping, and you know, wait a minute. Before I do final thoughts, I got to say, I'm thinking about you saying common sense strategies, the simple things like getting back to the basics to clear up your head and your life, you know, the fog or the craziness. It doesn't have to be so complex. Some of the things that happen in our life that we make into a bigger deal than it has to be. All of those things that you just said really resonate with me right now. So thank you.
Oh,
and so final thoughts for me, for our audience, or for, you know, whoever's listening later, is it's really important, because you know about positivity. We all know about mindset. It's been covered a lot. And so just like with anything else in life, it takes practice, and it takes awareness that you may not be practicing it, and find yourself throughout the day with the voices that are in your head. What are they saying? Is it bringing you down or is it lifting you up? And just be aware, be self-aware, and go from there. Ta-da-da.
Be self-aware and go from there.
Be
Well,
self-aware and go from there.
that was
It's a
absolutely well
practice.
said. That was absolutely well said. And it's a good thing you let them know, because too many people do go their entire lives never knowing why their life isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you were to play them a videotape of themselves and have them watch it for 1 week on how they complained about everything and how they looked at the negative of everything.
Ooh.
And if you could have them watch it, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing if you could do that?
Oh,
Just look at yourself. Look what you just did. Look what you did to the look on your little boy and your little girl's face because of your mood, because of your attitude.
yeah.
Look at the way you distorted your business associates with your attitude because you were confronted with a challenge, like everyone's going to be confronted with when they're
Yeah.
setting out to achieve a goal. Any goal, there will always be a challenge somewhere.
Right.
But look at the way you responded. And you wonder why you have stomach problems. You want to know why you have migraines. You want to know why people are shying away from you sometimes. It could be a hell of a wake-up call if we could see a video of our
Yeah.
life for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a nightmare for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And maybe then they would realize that, wow, something's broken. I got to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do this anymore. And that's what I did at one point in my life. I hit rock bottom and I said, I have a choice here. I have to do something. I didn't even know what my choices were. I just said I have to do something. And that was with such intensity that there was no way I couldn't do something about it. And that's when I went on that quest to better myself. And it was not easy because I went down again. Then I came up again. Then I went down again. And we all go through it no matter what level you are in life. You know, even the Dalai Lama has issues to deal with.
Right. We're human. Yeah. Everybody does.
Well, someone asked the Dalai Lama, "Why are you happy all the time?" And he laughed. And the person said, "Well, see, you, that's what I mean. You're always laughing." He goes, "Well, I'm laughing at what you just said. I'm not happy all the time." He goes, "I just know that when I'm not, there's something that I need to get me back into. I can get into it real faster than I ever could. But first of all, if you were happy all the time, you wouldn't know it because you wouldn't have anything to compare it with."
So true. That is so true.
God, you crack me up sometimes.
Oh my gosh, though. Isn't it? Like,
it's the dichotomy of life.
Yes.
You wouldn't know what good is unless you knew what bad was. You wouldn't know what love was unless you knew what fear was. There's always the other side that makes you appreciate that part, you know?
That's so true. I love that, Steve. That was good. Real good.
You good. Hey, yours good.
That was good.
That was probably the goodest thing you said all evening.
Let's see if we can do something gooder next week.
You got something good. Let's do something gooder. Right.
You're slap happy now. It's like
I know. That's why I love you. We get each other out of moods often, man. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's what I'm saying.
Eric Bam says a good hangover makes you appreciate a normal day. Oh, Bam, you are too much.
Hey, you know what, Bam? You should write some of these things down because they'd be funny in a book, one of those little pamphlet books.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
He would be great for writing those things.
I had a friend tell me that, I don't know if I should read this out loud because I don't read the whole thing. I had a friend tell me they're not on Facebook because people are so negative. You can be the light in the darkness. Banana. He used banana just like a period.
Yes,
there, did he? You see what he did there?
I'm saying.
Laurie says, I like Bruce's idea. We'll write down some thoughts before bed. Yeah, Bruce came in for the win.
Yeah.
Give us some goods, Bruce. Give us some goods.
Bruce. Write it down, Laurie, then read it to yourself after you write it.
Bam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
I just want to say something. You people been unbelievable here. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in on the show. Hey, I'm talking here.
I can't do any of those.
No. We've got to do this. We got to do the show. Both of us from Brooklyn. We got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to dress up. We got to do the whole thing. The whole
I know. I need lessons on how to. I think somehow naturally I got that New Yorker going on sometimes. God's blessings to you, used to.
The other Eric is on.
Eric, I love him. He is the most positive guy around. I bet he could do a whole talk on mindset. I bet you
agree.
could, Eric.
I bet he could.
Betcha.
Bet you could.
Bet you
All right.
good.
Now, this time we're really out of here. Yeah, thanks. You were great, Bruce. Thanks for your input wherever you are. Love you. And
Still here behind the scenes. But also one last thing before we go is if you can't get enough of Steve every week, or every other week, you can get enough of Steve every week. Just hold up your phone to the QR code, download his podcast. We take the best of his previous episodes. So if you don't have a full hour, you can spend 15, 20 minutes or less.
Yep.
On the way to school, on the way to car, to work.
He did a scrupulous job too. So, the audio version, he condensed everything to 15, 20 minutes, and it's really cool. It goes fast. You can go to the next one, or if you have Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play Steve Rizzo podcast.
What if the next one is just us going, real good?
It's real good.
That was real good. That was gooder.
It sounds like Huckleberry Hound, the cartoon. Dum-de-dum-dum. Dum-de-dum-dum.
You really want to watch this podcast? We are highly intelligent up in here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay. I know. We're not leaving. We were supposed to leave 10 minutes ago. We're not leaving.
Da-da-da-bum-bum. Da-da-da-bum.
Let's go. Goodbye, everyone. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.